here it is. One more day until we get to see what these cards are actually for, but if I'm looking at the background right here, this kind of looks like Jax already. That looks like a badass updated version of Jax. Let's go through these cards one by one. Okay, Parts Made Whole is a dual region card for Bilgewater and Piltover. 4 mana burst, discard 1 to draw 2. If you discard an equipment, summon an Acacian Mirage. Oh, wait. That seems pretty good, actually. It's a dual region spell. It's a Weapon Master spell. And the fact that this is a Weapon Master spell probably means that Jax's origin is going to be you can play any Weapon Master card in your deck. I think that's almost guaranteed seeing these two spells. This is quite powerful. I think this is actually really good because discard 1 to draw 2 is not great, but we have cards like Whispered Words. We have cards like Hidden Pathways, even Eye of Nagake Boros. This is comparable to Eye of Nagake Boros, and it's better than Eye of Nagake Boros if you're discarding a weapon. Discarding is like a downside, obviously, but I feel like in this package, since you're only getting 2 weapons to choose from, you're pretty off the go to have a weapon. You're like, I don't care about this one. And then summoning a 3-2 at burst speed and drawing 2 is pretty good. I don't think this is an insane card, but having the option to draw cards, a lot of cards in a deck like this that seems to run out of value pretty fast because you can only equip 1 weapon at a time is powerful. You can't sleep on that. You really can't. And summoning a 3-2 at burst speed is good. Okay. Blades of the Fallen, another dual region spell. Shadow Island, and Shurima. Give an ally last breath, summon an Acacian Mirage with my equipment this round. Oh. That's really interesting, actually. This round. So I'm guessing that this round just means that if the unit dies this round, and then you basically get to copy an equipment plus summon the Acacian Mirage with whatever stats the weapon has. Oh, okay. 1 mana does seem very cheap for this, but it's really easy to go like neg 1 on this. Like you put this in your deck, you give it to an ally, and what if that ally doesn't die? This makes me feel like you have to play stuff like Glimpse, maybe stuff like a Spirit Leash to make sure that your unit dies. Because if you don't get this off, you lose a card. That's really, really bad. It's burst, so you do it in battle? Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, I guess it's pretty easy to activate. Use it during combat. Okay. No, that is pretty good. Summoning another unit. Hey, listen. This is also a created unit for Nora. Turbo Nora. It's all coming together. Turbo Nora with Acacian Mirages. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's good. I think both of these cards are surprisingly good, but they're very, very conditional. And it really depends on how the deck shapes up to know whether there's space for cards like this or not. Because right now, I don't see it. But what this round means is that I'm assuming that the unit has to die this round, and it doesn't mean that you only get an Acacian Mirage for this round. This probably means that this spell is only a last breath this turn. Okay, up next, we have Piltover Castaway, a Bilgewater Piltover card, 3 mana 2/1 Weapon Master, attune. When I'm summoned, I improvise. Interesting. Okay, so this is basically like the Hookmaster, but it gets +1 attack and it attunes. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not much to say about this. These cards all seem pretty straightforward. It's like, okay, I play a unit. That unit doesn't do really anything that interesting, but they improvise. And if improvising matters, which it probably will, that's good. Wandering Shepherd. Play, pick an ally, it improvises. If you don't, I improvise. And it's a 3 mana 2/2, Targon and Bandle City. Again, all of these cards are Weapon Masters. Whoa, wait, that's actually insane. It actually didn't really hit me, but this card is nuts. This card has the potential to be so powerful. You can play this anywhere. You can play this with Faded. You can play this with Zoe. You can probably play this with Jax if that's a deck. Like, even sharing stuff around if you don't have the weapon. Tarek doesn't copy weapons because they're not spells. Yeah, with Nora, right? You give this to Nora. You give Nora the Scout keyword. You shuffle a ton of portals. Wow. Yeah, and assuming that Jax has the Weapon Master origin, you don't even need to play this card with Jax. This seems good outside of Jax too if... You know, Jax is about just making a ton of equipment. Seems really good. Actually, yeah. So, assuming that Weapon Master is his origin, that makes Parts Made Whole a lot better too. Because you're gonna have so much equipment that discarding one just to draw to and get like some tempo with the Acacian Mirage is really good. Yeah, I could see it. You definitely want to discard equipment in those type of decks. These cards are good. Okay, Catch. Freljord Demacia. Okay, there it is. That's a soup. It's getting hit with a soup. 1 mana burst. Catch. Give an ally +1/+1 this round or equip it with an equipment in hand that costs 2 or less. No way. Wait, that's so cool. You can equip equipment at burst speed. Wait, that's so freaking cool. I love this card. You can actually do shenanigans with this. And it has like the ore, so sometimes you give +1/+1, and sometimes you equip something. Wait, this is like insane Radiant Strike power creep though. Because Radiant Strike is just give +1/+1, this is like give +1/+1 and something else. Oh man, wait, it's so hard to see if this is playable though. Because again, you have this in your hand, and you really need to use it on a weapon, because giving something +1/+1 is often not going to be very meaningful. I think it's good, but it really depends on how these weapons play out in game. So the problem I have with this right now is that in a Weapon Master deck, everything is going to be equipped. Every single card you summon is going to be equipped. So how do you do this? Is it like you equip something and you like change their equipment? I don't see how this is super playable. They die? Yeah, I mean, when they die, sure, you get the equipment back. No, but I mean, why would you want to equip something if everything in this deck is already equipping themselves too? You know what I mean? Improvise is not auto-equip. It is. It is auto-equip. Remember the 1-drop ephemeral? Oh yeah, the 1-drop ephemeral. But again, every single unit we've seen so far, like depending on what else we're gonna see, everything comes with a weapon, dude. It's interesting. It's really interesting. I think it's a really funny card. I think it's gonna see experimentation, but I don't know if you really want to play this. This fixes the equipment issue with Taric. It really depends on what Jax does, because it's hard to say if a card like this is good. I think it's super cute. I love the flavor to it. Like catch, like you're throwing the weapon at somebody, they catch it and they're equipped with it. Yeah, no, easily. But we'll have to see what Jax actually does, and then we potentially have to see like the synergy. I feel like this is like the most ambiguous reveal that we've gotten so far. Like much more than anything else we've seen. So the thing with these Runeterra champions too is that they need to synergize with something. Evelyn was supposed to be pre-made with Kai'Sa because her origin was so narrow. I feel like this is the same. These are all these units that do one very particular thing, and there's no real payoff. Like, sure, the weapons are good, but they're not enough to win the game at all. If you look at these cards, like also the ones that have been revealed yesterday, like if you go here, these are all the weapons. This is a 2-mana 1/1 that becomes like a 3/1 with Overwhelm if you get the weapon. This is a 1/1 that dies. This is a 2/2 that becomes like a 4/2 or something. This becomes a 4/1. That's not good enough. That's not at all good enough. So the only thing you can do with these units is literally have them die so you can pass on the weapon to something important. Like maybe you're playing Viego or something and you want to give the Tough or the Overwhelm or whatever to Viego. And that is the synergy. But I feel like this is too specific, because it doesn't really go. It kind of goes with Kayn, but Kayn also auto-equips. And then you also have Master Yi, and I don't think you can play this with Master Yi because these are not really spells that like give you 2 spells for 1. And then we have Nora, and this doesn't really work with Nora. So I think we're still gonna have to get a card that synergizes with this deck. Yeah, there needs to be something. Ornn, you guys think it's Ornn? It could be Ornn. But what does Ornn have to do to make these cards playable? What does Jax have to do to make these cards playable? I could see Jax literally being like, you can equip multiple things. But I don't think the design space of like, okay, you're equipping your units and you want them to die so you get the weapon back is very enticing. So I'm not even sure if that's what it is for Jax. Ornn upgrades equip. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like Ornn, you have like you have the upcycle rake. This is a 2-mana +1/+0, and then Ornn is like, okay, this is now a +4/+4, and by the way, you also get Overwhelm. Something like that. That would make sense. I could definitely see that. Jax keeps the keywords and stats of the equipment after he disequips. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Like, he picks up the weapon, he learns how to use them, and then he keeps the stats and the keywords. That's cool. Yeah, but you know what that is? You know what they call that in the business? They call that a keyword soup. And I don't know, but I am full. I am sick. I've had too much soup these last 2 expansions. I don't want more soup. The only soup right now that I can tolerate is the pot of pain, because, listen, there's like a rope around it. You're going to throw this at somebody's head, and that's really cool. But any other soup? No, I'll pass, dude. I'll pass. Let Jax do something cool. Let him be like, hey, every time I see you equip a weapon, give me +1/+1 or something. I would prefer that over another keyword soup. I will be completely honest. Okay, these cards today that got revealed are super, super cool, and I love, and I really want to double down on this, I love that they're doing dual region outside of Bandle City. I have been waiting for this since Bandle City, and it felt like such a missed opportunity that they didn't do that before. But they're finally embracing it. You have this awesome mechanic that is dual region. You can make it really specific. I don't think these cards do it particularly well, but the gates are open. The gates after this expansion are open to Runeterra exclusives, and the gates are open to dual region cards. And that is really all we can ask for. What the next cards are going to be, I have no idea. I really want to see Jax. I think Ornn is quite likely, but we might also just get like another Darken or something. Maybe we'll get another Runeterra exclusive that's like, hey, I also upgrade weapons because I am a weapon. We really have, or like I absorb equipment or something. I don't know. Actually, that's a pretty cool idea. You have auto-equip champions, like these improvised units. You also have Kayn that auto-equips. What if there is a Darken that's like, I auto-equip every single weapon in play and in your hand? Now that would be pretty cool.